Okay, so now I want to show you using some Windows tools on the machine. Now normally if you're given a machine and you want to examine it, one problem with running tools on the machine is you want to change the state of the machine. But if you start the machine as a virtual machine in such a way that you can't write to the original data, then obviously you can play around with those tools as much as you want. So first of all, I just want a quick look and see where I've kept this. I've collected a number of Windows tools here, and I copied some of them over to a file. I mounted this image and I copied the files over. This actually happens to be a VMware image, but I'm going to VirtualBox can read those. So I want to just show you how you attach that. So you go to storage. I've already actually attached it, so I'll remove it. And then I'll attach it again. You need to, what do I want to do? I need to go to there, I think, and add a disk. Okay, add a hard disk. Choose an existing disk. And I move to the VDI and then click on this file. And click OK. And now I can start up Donald. Now, with a virtual machine, you can also do things such as you can use shared folders, and you might say, why would you bother using adding an extra hard disk? Well, the reason is that it's less intrusive to the file system. I didn't have to install guest editions and so on. So by just adding a disk, it makes it a bit simpler. Okay, so let's go full screen here, and let's start up the browser, and let's, for example, this is the WinTools directory. So there's some tools in here. One of them, for example, is Browser History View. Okay, and this will show you the Browser History View. That's the help file. This is the executable. So you can choose, and I've already chosen, you can choose which browsers you want. Okay, so it interprets quite a few browsers, and I actually only want to look at the file command. It has a there's a set of dates here. Filter by but I say don't bother loading, but you can choose to choose a particular time, and then you can choose from all users or just the which I'm going to choose all users, and then I just click OK, and it will show you these accesses. Now they're actually all only to duck.gif. Remember, this particular machine was used just basically to play around with this. And you can see it looks like there's a title. You can see the first one appears twice. Okay, there's the same time and it appears, and that's looks like the first visit. Okay, now what happens is that sometimes the old files stay around, and you've got your first visit, it remembers that, but these may be deleted. Actually, a lot of these files may be deleted later on, but in this case it's then so this is downloads.duck.gif, so that was visited once. Then the next day at 1727 there's a ducks.gif in the pictures directory, so that may have been copied or maybe a new file. It was visited then, it was visited again 2 seconds later, that's the second visit, and it was visited again that's 2 seconds later, so that's say a minute and a half later. Okay, so you can see exactly what's going on the computer. In each case, these were accessed using Explorer, and an entry ended up in the index.dat file, which this is accessing. There's a little bit more information here, but it's not terribly useful. Okay, so that was accessing the index.dat file. Now remember, there could be an awful lot more activity than this. This is just, as I said, a very lightly used computer. Okay, so that's one. There was then, oh yeah, there's a Shellbags viewer, but there was hardly any Shellbags at the time on this machine. There's the IE cache view. So if you want to view cache, you have to go down to well, as you can see, an awful lot of programs here, and not all of them are useful from a forensics point of view, but a lot of them are. So this is so this is the cookies view. If you hold your the mouse over it, you'll get a quick description, and there's the cache view. So if you click on the cache file, you'll see these are various items that occurred in the cache. So you can see there's a lot of files there, considering it's a lightly used computer. So for example, this is a Bing search, it looks like. Now let's just see if we can let's have a quick look. Let's try that. Yeah, so it's showing me a Bing search, so I can see the cache file. Now again, one of the very useful things about this is the file that's on the computer, and if you add this to a report, this is very strong. It's much more likely to convince people than describing some text saying that, oh, we found this in here. Whereas if you just show the pictures as they appeared in the cache, that's very useful information. Okay, so that's that, and you can do this with all of those, obviously. Okay, so that's the cache view. So I've seen so remember, with the history, you're just remembering the locations. With the cache, you're downloading the files. There is another, a lot of other programs there. One of the other useful ones is, actually, let's just sort by type. Can I do, let's, oh yeah, click on that. I should sort by type. So that should, no, that's not really. Oh yeah, okay, so there's all the history file. What's on the bottom? Oh yeah, these are all the actually I was hoping to just find the config files. These files create a little config directory whenever they're run, but let's try searching. I was looking for USB. Okay, so there is a USB device view. So, that's a 64-bit one. I think we're a 32-bit operating system. So we can just have a look, and it gives you a lot of information about USB devices. Again, very handy information and very useful. But this is just showing you it's very easy to run Windows applications, small Windows applications, and they might be particularly good for one task. And if you have done your main forensic examination, you just need to confirm a few things. You can try to confirm the information with something like this. Okay, so that's that.